Hi there, welcome to the Great Brain Workout. This is our special Family Day edition. So the exercises in the class are for parents, they're for kids, they're for parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents. So the idea is that we're going to do them together. If you're a parent, you might have noticed that a lot of children's time is spent on screens. So this class is about using your brain and their brains in a different way. You're going to need some equipment. So the first thing you're going to need is some kind of a bouncy ball. A tennis ball will work. You might steal your dog's ball and wash it first. All you want to make sure is that there's enough bounce that it can hit the floor and come back without you having to lean down to get it. The next thing you're going to need, if you have a kit, a lot of us have Great Brain Workout kits, which we did before the lockdown. We have this little, it's an instrument. You get it in a music store. And it's a little egg, and there's, I don't know what's inside, but when you shake it makes a sound, and you can feel the vibration. So we faked it. If you don't have one, I got a plastic vitamin bottle. I put some beans inside, or rice will do, and then I snapped it shut. If it doesn't snap shut really well, you're going to just put a little piece of tape around there just to make sure that the beans don't spill out. And that's what you need. So we're going to start just by warming up. There is no right and wrong way to do a Great Brain Workout class. You're going to just follow along, do the best you can. Your brain is working harder when it's not getting something. As soon as your brain gets something, it goes, that was easy, and it starts to slack off. So as soon as it seems like we're going to get that pattern, I'm going to change the pattern. So just follow along. We're going to start with a little warm-up. So you're working at home. Before you start, I want you to just check and make sure there's no toys on the floor, there's no dogs there to trip over, everything's clear and everything's safe. Don't do these exercises at the top of your stairs. I'm going to turn on the music. I'm going to ask you just to try to follow whatever the pattern is I'm doing. All we're doing is warming up. I don't care if you get it right or not, because I'm going to change it right away anyway. Here we go. Let's walk. Get the beat going. Be wide. 4 claps on your thighs. Clap it. Reach up, up, and roll. 4 in your thighs. 4 claps. Reach up, tight arms, roll. Roll. 1 arm and the other, roll. Remember that pattern. Let's change it. Go out, in, up, down. Out, in, up, down. Other thigh slap. Out, in, up, down. we do that every week in some kind of variation. So we're doing fast movements, and what makes it good exercise for your brain is that it makes you focus, because if you lose focus, you've totally lost where you're at. So I'm going to show you an object. This is a game that you can do with your grandparents or your parents at home. You don't need to be online to do this. So what you're going to do is I'll show you an object. I want you to use that object for as many different things as you can imagine how you could use it, but without using it the way it was intended. So, for the example, this little object here, I don't know if you know what it is. It's tiny, and it has a hole in it. So what this object is, it's a spatula for getting under the lip of the pan. It's a silicone spatula. It's metal inside, so it doesn't bend. So I want you to look at it. You can use it any way you want, and you can make it into anything you want in your mind. So think of all the different ways you might be able to use that object, except for what it was intended for, which was for scraping out the inside of a pan. That's your first object. So although I'm not going to ask you to think about it consciously, you've seen it and your brain's going to be working on it unconsciously while we do something else. So second thing we're going to do is going to require that little shaker egg or your pill bottle. One or the other, whichever you have. As I said, if you've got, make sure it's a plastic bottle, not a glass one. And if unless the lid snaps on really tight, I'd put a piece of tape on it. Grab a drink, come back with either a shaker or a pill bottle filled with rice or beans, and we'll carry on. When we do something that with our brain that we don't typically do, every single new thing we do means our brain has to make a connection between brain cells. So it sends a message from one cell to the other cell. And doing that, it does that by using a neurotransmitter. And a neurotransmitter is simply a chemical that our body produces. When things get busy and we get active and we're interested in things and we're learning new things and using our brain in a different way, it lights up our brain and it says to itself, things are getting complicated, I need to produce more neurotransmitters. And those neurotransmitters are really good for us because they have tremendous health benefits in terms of making us relaxed and calm afterwards. And happy. They're mood elevators. You exercise, you feel good. Well, that's why you feel good when you exercise, because of all the neurotransmitters that exercising stimulates in your brain. So, on that subject, we are going to grab either that little pill bottle, plastic bottle, or the shaker egg. I'm going to use this one because you can see it at a distance. Again, I'm going to ask you to follow along. There's no right and wrong way. You're just going to do the best you can. So you're going to mirror me. If I'm doing this, you're here with your back, and you're doing it on the same side, right? So I'm using my right hand, you're using your left hand. So it's a mirror image. All right, here's our music. Let's get our heart rates up. Before I turn on the music, I'm going to have you do a little experiment. I'm going to lower my camera just a tiny bit here. Let's do a little experiment. So just stand there. I want you to just close your eyes. Be aware of what's happening in your body and see if you can feel how fast your heart's beating. Is it quick? Is it slow? How fast is that heart beating? My camera's still not low enough. There we go. How fast is your heart beating? Sometimes if you've been exercising, you can actually put your hand on your chest and feel it. You don't need to take your pulse. I just want you to be aware. Now I want you to be aware of how fast you're breathing. Are you breathing extra hard? No, probably not. We've had a little break. Now, for 1 minute, I'm going to have you put your hands on your thigh and brace yourself. So I want you to tighten your thighs, your legs, your butt, your belly. Put your hand on your thigh and grab that little shaker, no matter what it is. Let your shoulders relax. I'm going to shake it, not from the wrist. Not going to let my wrist burn. When I shake, I'm going to lift my elbow and I'm going to shake from the whole arm, okay? Watch what happens to your heart rate. You're going to shake as hard as you can, small and fast as you can. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go! Shake! Lean into it. Brace yourself harder. Check and see your grandma's doing it as hard as you are. She's shaking as hard as you are. Harder and faster. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. That's only 20 seconds. Keep shaking. Hard. Fast, 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 fast. 35. 25 seconds to go. This is hard. Your arm's going to start to ache. Feel your heart rate. And we're going 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Can you feel your heart beating? We didn't move our feet. We only moved our arm, one arm. Normally, within a minute, most people can almost double their resting heart rate with that. So there's no exercise or reason for not getting your heart rate up. You could sit on the couch and do that at commercials. Switch the shaker over to the other hand. We'll give that one a rest. So now I want you to remember that when you're shaking it, it's not here. You've got to keep your elbow high to get the cardiovascular benefit. And I'm not shaking from the wrist. My whole arm is shaking here. This elbow is high. My arm is roughly parallel to the floor. Unless we're doing something special, I'm going to always keep it parallel to the floor. So now we're going to add in our feet and the other hand. So follow along as best you can. No right and wrong way. Just let your brain focus on trying to figure out what is that woman out there doing and how do I do the same thing with my body. This is that famous song called If I Had a Chicken. Other hand. start that. So here we go. We're going 2 taps out, 2 taps in. Tap, 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 tap. My weight is always on my right side. I'm tapping my left out, tap it in. Out, in, out, in, out, in. Hey, you have another limb and it could do something too. So we're going to go out for 2. Bring it to your shoulder, touch your shoulder. Go out and shoulder and out and shoulder. There we go. You got it. Get it shaking. Hold it tight. Tap out, in, pull. Okay. So what your brain is going to do, your brain is going to want to make your foot, your arm, and this hand go at the same rhythm. I'm doing 2 taps out, 2 taps in, but I'm not going shake, 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 shake. I'm doing tiny little constant shakes here, not changing that and tapping my foot. So don't go tap, 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 tap. I want to keep this hand moving, okay? Too easy, we're going to change it. I'm shaking constantly. I'm tapping for 2, tapping in for 2. This time, instead of taking your arm out, and as your leg comes in, and taking it across to your other shoulder, as your foot comes in, we're going to go the opposite direction. So as my foot goes out, my hand goes across to my shoulder. As my foot comes in, my hand goes out. So it's the opposite direction. I'm shaking, my foot is tapping, 2 out, 2 in, same thing. But my arm is going the opposite direction to my foot. You ready? Get the beat. To know that your grandparents or your mom works this hard every week in this class. All right, let's create a little ball pattern here. So make sure you're not at the top of the stairs when you do this and the floor is clear. You're going to hold the ball in your right hand. You're going to bounce it for 3 and catch it in your right hand. So we'll go bounce for 1 and catch. That's 1, 2, 3. You're going to toss it up and catch it in your left hand. You're going to bounce on the left, 3. Bounce and catch on the left, 1, 2, 3. Toss it up to the right and catch. So now we're going to add words. And the reason we're adding words is because it's a way that we store memories in our brain in a different part. So here's a little hint. When you're studying for an exam, walk around your room and read your notes or whatever you're trying to remember out loud. So try to print them, read them off a paper as opposed to a screen. When you read out loud, the part of your brain that reads those words and interprets them is different from the part of your brain that speaks. That's different from the part of your brain that hears your voice. So now you have stored that information in 3 separate files in your brain. So during the exam, if one of those files doesn't open, the memories are stored in 2 other places. So let's use words. The words go like this. Right for 1, right for 2, right for 3, up and over and catch. Left for 1, left for 2, left for 3, up and over and catch. Again, right for 1, right for 2, right for 3, up and over and catch. Left for 1 and left for 2 and left for 3, up and over and catch. Let's do that with some music. Balls in the right. Right for 1, right for 2, right for 3, up and over and catch. Left for 1, left for 2, left for 3, up and over and catch. Right for 1, right for 2, right for 3, up and over and catch. And left for 1, left for 2, left for 3, up and over and catch. All right, part 2. If you've been in this class before, you know there's always a part 2 and sometimes a part 3 and 4. Today we're just going to do 2 parts. So I did it twice. So the ball ended up back in my right hand. I'm going to V bounce in the middle, catch it with my left. So I'm going to go V to the left. I'm going to go V to the right. I'm going to take the ball behind my back, switch it to my left hand, bring it out, go right, go left. So those last 2 tosses are tiny. You won't have time in the music to make them big. Put the ball in your right hand. That's V to the left. V to the left. V to the right. Around my back. When I come around my back, I'm going to show the ball. So it goes around my back. So it's not just you're circling around. You're going to go around, present the ball, my back. Go right, go left. Let's do that once more. Put the ball in your left, ball in your right, sorry. V to the left, V to the right, around my back, go right, go left. Now reverse it. V to the right, V to the right, V to the left, around my back, ball's back in the right hand, go left, go right. Again, V to the left, V to the right, around my back, go right, go left. V to the right, V to the left, around my back, go left, go right. So we're going to do that pattern attached to the first pattern. We will do 2 of the first pattern and 2 of the second, back to back without stopping. V bounce. V to the left, V to the right. Around my back, go right, go left. V to the right, V to the left. Around my back, go left, go right. 1, right for 2, right for 3, up and over and catch, and left for 1, left for 2, left for 3, up and over and catch. V bounce. V to the left, V to the right. Around my back, go left, go right. V to the right, V to the left. Around my back, go left, go right. Bounce for 1 on the right, right for 2, right for 3, up and over and catch. Left for 1, left for 2, left for 3, up and over and catch. V bounce. V to the left, V to the right. Around my back, go right, go left. V to the right, V to the left. Around my back, go left, go right. Thank you for joining us today. Remember the game. So you will have lots of little objects around your house. I've got a ton of things here, but here's one. How many different ways could you possibly use this? It is a miniature road cone. And you know what? I don't even know what its original intention was. But you could think of all sorts of ways you could do this. Let's call it a paperweight. Don't use it to weight paper, but you could use it for anything else. It's a miniature road cone. This one's soft. Yeah. Here's one more you could think of. I have just a nail brush. So you could use it for anything but cleaning your nails. This one has little holes in it. I don't know if you can see that there's holes that go all the way through. This is actually a surgeon's scrub brush. But what could you do with that other than clean your nails? You have lots of stuff around your house you can do. So use your imagination. Try to get as many as you can. The further down on the list you go, the more creative your brain will be. Thanks for being with us for Family Day. I hope you've got some ideas of ways that you can use your brain without being on a computer, because we're on the computer a whole lot these days. Thank you again to the Township for sponsoring this. Thank you to the Woolwich Senior Center who are running these classes free for people on Tuesdays. My email address is thegreatbrainworkout@gmail.com. thegreatbrainworkout@gmail.com. And if you want to be a part of those classes, even if you've gone back to school and you say, oh, I'd like to do that, but I'm in school on Tuesday afternoon, that's all right, because you get access to the class for a whole week. You can do it whenever. So in the meantime, I'd like you all to stay safe, stay positive, and think about all the great things that there still are happening in the world. And let's look forward to all getting back together safely. Take care.